okay, she's only pulling $4,000 a month doing this. It's not a ton
Right.
of money to be claiming to be an expert in this.
What we saw with Kayla, it's not that she's being mean. She's positioning herself that she's helping you. She understands. She wants you to succeed. That is the telltale of a scam. Welcome, Frugal friends. My name is Jen.
My name is Jill.
And make money scams are some of the most prevalent scams on social media, across the internet. And this one is just the latest to go viral.
We're going to be using this example we're about to give you as the template for how scams across social media can happen. This one just gives a lot of really good examples.
Yes. And so we are talking today about Kayla Sansom, known on TikTok as Kayla Laughs Out Loud. She has over 300,000 followers and is a self-proclaimed mystery shopping and mystery shopper and mystery shopping coach who sells a course on how to make money mystery shopping for $97 a month.
That's right. It's a subscription you got to pay for.
In August, she posted a video of a mystery shop that went viral. She went to Chicken Salad Chick and she berated them for the service. Later posted a video saying that she kind of got the manager fired. And this all came out when this all went viral, and then Chicken Salad Chick actually posted a response. You can go and see it on their TikTok. It said they don't hire mystery shoppers. They don't know who she was working for. They didn't let anybody go for bad service as it relates to a mystery shop. So as a result of this virality, Kayla was not just exposed for maybe not being truthful on her Instagram account or her TikTok account, but also the sleuths of the internet found that she has past charges on fraud, shoplifting, and selling counterfeit goods.
Yeah. So we're not here. The purpose of this episode is not to drag Kayla's character through the mud, but it does provide a lot of really good examples for the things to be looking out for so that when we are pursuing some of these fun side hustles, or we are choosing to pay an influencer a monthly amount of money for some version of a service,
amount of money.
Yeah, then we know some of the things that are red flags, some of the things that are green flags. And Jen's done a lot of mystery shopping. So have I. Between the two of us, at least 50 mystery shops ourselves. So being able to speak specifically from that perspective, and then also giving you some tips if mystery shopping is specifically something you've been interested in. I know my mother-in-law, Linda, always talks about how she'd love to be a mystery shopper. Then we'll also give you free tips on how you can do that, and it's not that hard. But first, this episode is brought to you by having the answers. Listen, it's okay to not know everything. Not everybody knows about everything. It's normal. But dang, is it a good feeling when you do have the answers, especially when math is involved, but also when the answer involved is food. Like, what am I going to feed myself tonight? For most of us, figuring out food after a long day is really the literal last thing we want to do. But guess what? We just made it a lot easier with our handy dandy meal planner. It's our best tip for how to save money on one of the most expensive things that we spend money on monthly. That's food. And now you can have our beautiful planner full of templates, recipes, low ingredient and low effort meal ideas so that you can have the answers. Get our meal planner, frugalfriendspodcast.com/meal planner.
Did she mention there's 1,000 meal ideas?
I didn't even say that. No, I didn't even let you know.
1,000.
You know what that means? That's 1,000 answers is what this meal plan is. It means you have the answer for 1,000 nights.
Yes.
That is more than 1 year.
You're done.
That's more than 3 years worth of answers.
1,000 is more than 365.
One purchase will get you 1,000 answers. over the course of 3+ years, and then you can just recycle it.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of numbers. So not only do you have the answers on math, you also have the answers on food.
Because we do that. That's what we do. All right. So I want to reiterate again on this podcast, we do not critique people, we critique information.
Ooh,
And
ooh.
information is relayed to us through people. So we just think that this story is an unfortunate example about how influencers who want to scam people can do it using information, 80% of which is true and verifiable. And then 20% of it is lies. Sometimes just half truths, but then also sometimes just blatant lies. And so, again, we're not going to drag Kayla's character through the mud. There are plenty of other, commentary YouTube channels that do deep dives on people and their pasts. We are doing a deep dive on how a case study of scamming on the internet. So, first, what is mystery shopping? And Kayla actually does a really good job of explaining what mystery shopping is.
So here's the 80% truth.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. It's kind of nasty out today, but I wanted to take the time in the middle of my mystery shopping day and come on here and introduce myself. I realize I have a lot of new followers. I have a lot of people not understanding what I do for a living, and I would love to take a chance to break it down. So I have been a mystery shopper for 15 years. I am a professional mystery shopper. Companies hire me to go in their locations all over and evaluate their customer service, their products, the cleanliness of their stores. I mean, so many things in between that as well. I have mystery shopped fast food like McDonald's, all the way up to very fine dining where plates are like $200 plus. I mystery shop hotels, resorts, casinos, high-end retail like Louis Vuitton and Tiffany, all the way down to Pandora and stores like Claire's. Okay, so I do all kinds of mystery shops.
And so she is accurate in that description. You can find mystery shops across everything. Like when I was doing it, I did, most of those. I also did banks. You can do like new construction. You can sit in on like a sales pitch for a new construction home, and that can be a mystery shop. There are like car dealerships doing a test drive. I've done that. I actually have a very funny story about a car dealership test drive shop I did. I'll get to that later. But yes, so that's what it is. You are evaluating the customer experience, and your job is to give details that you would not find in a Google review. And that's very important because if they just wanted a simple, short answer, they have thousands of Google reviews to look from. So your sole purpose is to be giving information that wouldn't necessarily be in a Google or Yelp review.
Mm-hmm. So to tease apart what's true and what's false, and using this as an example, Kayla is using some really common sales and marketing techniques in order to gain trust with her viewers and subscribers, and then eventually make sales. And you can see almost all of them in a singular video.
A 14-minute video that we cut down.
One of the ways that she's, trying to make a good amount of her money is by convincing you that you need her help in order to be able to be a mystery shopper yourself. So it is kind of an education in some sales manipulation. And we do see so much of this in the wellness space.
Not just in like make money online, but across anytime anybody's trying to sell you something. So in the wellness space, the self-help space, all kinds of places.
Okay, so here's the cut down version of the video, and then we'll dissect.
We'll dissect each part as it happens because I think that'll be easier to like break it down.
Cool.
So here is the first one.
So I have taken the time this afternoon to write out 16 questions that I'm constantly getting about my mystery shopping program, and I am going to answer them all on this video. I signed up. That's how I got going. I loved it so much. I asked for more information. They gave me a couple more companies that they worked with, but they didn't give me many. And I had to go out myself and discover what companies were legitimate, because there are so many scams out there, and they are very good at looking legitimate, because mystery shopping companies, real ones, do not advertise, especially the higher end ones that actually pay, not just give you a little crumbs like these apps that y'all keep asking me about.
Yeah. She goes on to say, like, apps are crap. And she's not wrong on that. The apps are not, those are more like survey things. And there are a ton of mystery shopping companies.
The thing that stands out to me in what we've heard so far is just how vague it is. She's saying she's answering a question, but it's, I signed up.
Well,
I
I cut
went
it.
with
I
them.
cut out part of that. The
Oh,
first,
okay, so that's part
sorry,
of the reason.
the first part of that was she was answering what mystery shopping is. So I guess I could have used that clip for the first one.
Uh-huh.
But actually, I just love the fact that the first video, like, she was driving and you could see that she's driving if you're watching on YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
and I was like, people need to see
Okay.
this.
Well, whether or not she put context to it,
Oops,
I
sorry.
have seen others be this level of vague, where they're
Mhm.
not giving any value or any like real reason to latch onto to believe that you actually are going to bring me the value that I'm looking for, like completely shrouded behind a paywall. To me, that always raises a red flag. Like
Mhm.
you're never giving any sort of substance.
Yeah. And we'll talk about this a little later, but she positions herself just like she did in the first video. She's been doing this for 15 years. She's a highly rated, I don't know if she says like maybe award winning or something. She really puts herself up there. But in reality, there are no rating systems for mystery shoppers. There are no awards. You can get a gold certification from the Mystery Shopping Professional Association, but she does not mention that at all.
Mhm.
So, yeah, people will try to build credibility, but unless you do your own research, which they won't, you can pay them, but they're not going to do that research for you. You have to research them and their credentials on your own regardless. And so if you can do that, you can probably get all the information as well on your own. But so you just assume because she's saying these things that she has all these all this stuff. But what she's saying doesn't actually exist. There are things that do exist, like certification, and she doesn't mention those at all. What she does position this whole mystery shopping experience as is, it's dangerous to do this without me. So this is pain point amplification. We're scared to try new things, especially things that have been associated with scams. There are definitely mystery shopping scams out there, and nobody wants to get scammed. And so she positions herself as someone who understands and has the solution, when in reality, because there are so many scams, there is this mystery shopping professional association that all legitimate mystery shopping companies go through and must be a part of. And that is very easy to find and sign up for free online. And honestly, if you Google mystery shopping, the first thing is the Reddit for mystery shopping. And that place is a gold mine. Like, you don't need to pay for her community. This is of like a community of newbies when you have this community of seasoned mystery shoppers on Reddit. And there are full-time mystery shoppers.
Mhm.
There are people who do this full-time. They're not going to one city because you can exhaust a city pretty quickly. It's a lot of the same mystery shops, and you can't do the same ones maybe
Within a
like
certain period of
once for
time.
every 6 months, right? So these people are going out to, like, I saw one of them travels between 4 different states
Whoa.
for to do his mystery shop. So yeah, it's positioning that it is dangerous to do this without me. This is where a lot of nutrition influencers,
Mhm.
like, it is dangerous to eat these foods only eat the foods that are in my meal plan that you can buy, sort of thing.
Apps are crap. Remember that. Apps are not real mystery shopping companies. They're survey things. That's all they are. And that's why y'all whine and cry to me and say, well, I was a mystery shopper for a year and I didn't make nothing, because you weren't working for a real mystery shopping company. So that answers that. It took me, gosh, many, many, many years to develop the list of all the legitimate mystery shopping companies and merchandising companies.
So in this one, she goes in and is kind of reinforcing that other people have failed and it's their fault. So when you fail, it's your fault. That's another tactic influencers and I won't say influencers, I'll say scammers will use, that they they could have used me, but they didn't. And you went on your own and it's your fault that you failed. In reality, the apps are, I think, scams in and of themselves. So it's not people's fault that they sign up for these apps thinking that they're going to get like mystery shops and surveys and stuff, because they're advertised as a way to make money. And then you're making, you never get approved for any surveys. And if you do, you make 25 cents. Like, I think those in and of themselves are scams, but she's not positioning it that way. She is positioning it as, if you are going to go on your own, you fail.
And her being the one who has the corner on the information, like the gatekeeper of the real truth. She's kind of the only one that you can go to get legitimacy in this type of side hustle. And you have to pay her the $97 a month in order to have that. Nobody owns all the information. And it's more so finding the people who are going to teach us in the way that we need to be taught, who have the information that we are looking for, but also recognizing that there are ways to get the information ourselves. Just sometimes we want to pay for the convenience of somebody else has done the work for us. So teach me. I mean, we ourselves have a course that we sell, but we don't believe that we're the only ones who can teach you about personal finance. If you like our style, you like the way that we explain things to you, then this is going to be great for you. But otherwise, so that's kind of how we can tease apart who's worth investing in and is actually going to give me what I'm looking for, and who is just wanting me to kind of stay trapped so I can line their wallets.
Yeah.
Again, mystery shopping companies do not advertise. If you are lucky and you find a legitimate company on your own, you are going to have a very hard time navigating their website, getting mystery shopping jobs, getting them completed correctly. I cannot tell you how many messages and emails I get from people telling me how sorry they are because they went out by themselves and either got scammed or they found a legitimate company. I even have a screenshot at the end of this video telling me that even when they found a legitimate company, they didn't know what they were doing and they were well over their head and they didn't get paid, they didn't get reimbursed, and they lost all that time because they didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah, this one. Okay, so this is where our experience with mystery shopping can make us uniquely qualified to talk about this. But this is a lot of fear mongering.
Oh my word, that quote about you're on your own. You're going to have a hard time navigating websites, finding jobs, and completing shops correctly without my program.
Yeah.
Just the fear of failure, the fear of you're not competent enough to do this without me hand holding you.
Yeah. So in reality, it is. So here's where the half truths are. A lot of mystery shopping companies aren't advertising or marketing in the normal way that make money companies kind of are advertising. That's usually how the scams are advertising. But they all are a part of the Mystery Shopping Professional Association. It is free to sign up for that. And so most of them, if they don't, you can request it, will actually give you a sample, a filled out report that you would have to do. So yeah, it's all of the resources are there once you find the job. You can go in. So here's how it goes. And so then also like there's so many companies and also they all specialize in different things, either different areas of the country or different like specialties. Go into the MSPA and then you can go, there's two different places you can go. We'll link to it in the description. We'll link to the directory, which is their service provider search. You can see all the companies, but you won't really be able to see if they're in your area or what shops they're doing. So you can also go to the opportunity board, and there you can see opportunities, but you can't see all of the different companies. So you kind of have to navigate through. So that's why it's like a half truth. If somebody had a list of all of the there's no way you could. There's no way you could do what she's offering. Like it would be, they change companies that they work with too much. It would have to be specialized to every part of the country. Like you could create a list, but the list is right here on the MSPA. So that's the only thing she could give. So you would have to do your own research and sign up for a bunch of companies, see what's going on in your area, what you want to be a part of, stuff like that. And so your time is better spent doing that than doing whatever she has in her course, because you would still have to do that on top of
it's still
her
work to go
course.
through a course and then it's money.
Right.
And if you're just doing this occasionally, $97 is really going to blow through whatever profits you're making. You're not making a ton of money per shop. It's more so a fun way to be able to watch a movie for free or get a free dinner. But the amount you're getting paid for that is, after they cover the cost of the food, is like $5 to $15.
Yeah. So there are some shops that pay more. So like I said, the banking, gym membership, inquiries, car dealership test drives, those pay pretty well. Like you can make $50 doing one of those. You're not going to get them often. You can't keep going back to the same car dealership every weekend and making $50 every weekend. You just can't do that. You're going to exhaust. You can do that maybe once every 6 months. And that's why you would have to travel to multiple states in order to get a bunch of shops like that, because you can't be known. They have to not recognize you. So that's a very important part of mystery shopping.
Because it has to be mysterious.
Right, right. So here are a couple companies I have worked with that I like: Bestmark, Coil, and Confero. These have shops that I really like because I usually do it just for food. And I went out and looked, and they're still, going strong. I haven't done a mystery shop in a long time, but they're still going strong. So
yeah, I used Coil and I did it for food as well. So
yes,
again, yeah, it was
Coil
a
is
nice way to
great.
get a dinner out. I mean, specifically, you've got to keep in mind that it's going to take a while to actually receive your payment, and you do front the money for these things first. And then you get your reimbursement plus your payment. So there are things to be aware of with it, but it's all discoverable on your own.
Right. And if you're on YouTube, we'll post some screenshots from actual jobs that I just found last week from going to these websites, because I still have my login and they still work. So I went in and I just looked for some jobs. And look, you can see that there's a button to click on the job post that is one, like, look at sample report. So yeah, go and sign up for the jobs. And because I'll say one before we move on to the last video, she's also trying to create this like pseudo intimacy and like have this parasocial relationship with people. That's every influencer. Every influencer profits from creating a parasocial relationship with their followers. That's just across the board. Whether they're scammers or just regular, like really great influencers, all thrive on these parasocial relationships.
We see you all as our frugal friends.
Right.
And that's authentic.
Yeah, that's real. That's not parasocial at all.
I mean, it might be, but it doesn't mean that it's all bad. Like,
No,
feeling
no.
connected and experiencing trust.
That's not what's bad.
Mm-hmm.
But she is then using that. She's kind of transferring that on her community and her course to say that you can essentially, like, buying this course isn't just buying the information, but you're also buying a community of people who know what they're doing. And even though they're also beginners, but this welcoming, knowledgeable community. So yeah. All right. Let's move on to our last example for this particular scam.
Now, my members that live in big cities, like I have a young man that lives in Orlando, Florida, he makes more money than I do. His first week with me, barely knowing anything, he made $900 in Orlando, Florida. And that was back in April 2024. And now we just spoke, our last time speaking one-on-one was in late November. And for the month of October, he made over $6,000. So he made more than me. I average about $4,000 a month.
That's very honest, that like, okay, she's only pulling $4,000 a month doing this. I can appreciate that honesty. It's not a ton of money to be claiming to be an expert in this. But yeah, it's crazy to use such an outlier example as if this could be you, when in reality, no, what's going to be you is making $5 on a dinner shop.
Yeah. So this is an example of a scammer using extreme outliers, and everybody uses social proof. You don't have to be a scammer to use social proof and testimonials, but where it gets dangerous is you're using these extreme outliers, and everybody wants to use their best social proof, but she's using, this success story to anchor your bias. It's an anchoring bias. So you're going to listen to this and you're going to be like, okay, well, I'm not in Orlando, so I can't make 9,000, or maybe I won't even make 4,000, but I can make 1,000. So you're anchoring your idea of what's possible based on the numbers that she is throwing out. And the higher the number, the more you think you're going to be able to make, which for most people is not feasible.
And then it's a never-ending pattern, because then when you don't hit that number, because it's been made to be viewed as very possible, you become disheartened in it. And then you find that this influencer is telling you, well, you're doing something wrong.
And
so
she's already done it once. It's your fault if you're not doing it right.
You're just on this little merry-go-round of insecurity and fear-mongering and concern that if I leave, I'm going to be doing even worse with unrealistic expectations. And the whole thing is...
We could be doing the same exact thing on MLM techniques. Yeah. Let us know in the comments if you want a video on MLMs, because
if you want us to get canceled.
Dying. I am dying to make one. I would love to.
Yeah.
Do you have a specific MLM, or you just want to hear MLMs in general?
We talk about it a lot off air, so we might as well bring it to the people.
We love it.
Okay, so if specifically mystery shopping is of interest to you, here's your permission to just go and do it and not pay somebody to teach you how. And here's, from our experience, some of the do's and don'ts. You would have to be pretty organized. So this is for somebody who can stick to dotting your I's, crossing your T's. You're going to want a timer on your phone. You're going to want to take screenshots.
Kayla's not wrong in saying that these reports are very specific. You have to be very
They want to
specific.
know how long it took you from sitting down to the waiter coming over to ordering and the food coming out, and they want pictures of the bathroom and pictures of the food, and you can't start eating before you took a picture of the food, and you have to order specific things. And so there's a lot of moving pieces, and that could lead someone to feel nervous about, like, I don't want to be revealed, because then you lose the shop if they understand that you are a mystery shopper. The thing is, you can be on your phone. Most people are on their phones. We don't have to be nervous about that, but you have to have a pretty solid understanding of what the store is looking for from you off the bat, so that you can go in and do the shop confidently. So there's some prep work. There's the carrying it out. And then on the back end, It can take 30 to 45 minutes to draft the report that they're
Easily.
looking for.
Yeah.
If you've ever even just done surveys, they want, at least 3 sentences of feedback, at least a paragraph of this. So you can't just say it was good. You've got to give very specific examples with a specific amount of
Mhm.
words. Otherwise, you're not going to get paid
And
for
and
it.
what I found the secret to it is if it was a question above the narrative, they want a sentence per question within the narrative. So that's a very easy way where you're like, I have no idea what to write. You just go down the question list for that category and give an explainer sentence that explains each of your like yes, no, clicked answers. So that's really what, and you can always, even if they don't offer a filled out survey for you to review, you can always request one. They want you to do this
Mhm.
correctly because they need mystery shoppers for this stuff and they exhaust mystery shoppers. You can only
Mhm.
do a lot of these once every 6 months,
Mhm.
sometimes once every 30 days or 3 months if you're lucky, but there's a lot that you can't do within 6 or 9 months. So they need mystery shoppers and they want you to succeed and to be eligible for more shops and for better shops. There's a lot of shops actually that they don't advertise on the websites that invite people once they have a established, and this is I found for Coil especially with they do some hotel shops
Mhm.
and it's hard to get those. You have to, I asked, and they're like, you have to establish yourself with all these other shops in order to like get picked
Mhm.
for one
That's
of
the
these.
most amount of ranking system that there
Right, right.
is experience
Yeah.
and, yeah, having a good
Yeah.
reputation
But
with the
there are
brand.
people that will get these hotel shops and they pay for your travel. So they'll go to another state, do a hotel shop, and do other mystery shops while they're out of town.
Mhm.
So like the
Mhm.
whole trip is work, but it's also like paid.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun, but it's also work.
Yeah.
It's definitely work.
It is, yeah, it's not work.
Yeah.
And again, as a recap, because not just with mystery shopping, but any kind of make money online scam, the things to be aware of is the fear mongering, the making you believe that this person is the only one with the answers. They have the information. It's all hidden behind a paywall, and that you cannot do it without them. So this type of language is what should raise your suspicions about whether or not this is actually going to get you from point A to
Mhm.
point B.
And it won't be obvious. Like what we saw with Kayla, it's not that she's being mean. She is positioning herself. All of those things that she like we're going over are true. And she's positioning herself that she's helping you. She
Mhm.
understands. She wants you to succeed. So it's all over this lens of encouragement. Everything out there is bad. Everything in here is good. And I just want you
Mhm.
to succeed. And that is the telltale of a scam.
It's interesting because we do talk about this concept called shuhari, and it's follow the rules, break the rules, transcend the rules. And so we are really all about, if you're trying to learn something and a new skill, you name it, that you want to find one person who can just kind of clear the clutter, simplify it, follow them to a T, but then get to the point where "And I now understand this. I can make my own tweaks to this." And then you get to the point where it really has been fully embraced and you are able to really do it on your own. You're not just breaking the rules, you're making it your own. And so, in that regard, we are not opposed to paying people to help us figure this thing out. There are others who have more experience than us, who have put in some of the time that can make it a little bit more efficient for us. But I do think it's worth still weighing out, is this something I really need a guide and a mentor for? Or is there enough collective wisdom on the internet that I can kind of just understand how this thing is done?
Mhm.
Sometimes we need guides, but not always. And I think that's one of the biggest things to be able to tease apart before we hand over our bank account information to somebody and we saddle ourselves with a monthly subscription or even a one time cost, depending on what it is. Like, we don't want to hemorrhage money just because we think we need a guide for everything. Sometimes there's just the information that we need if we can refine our research skills a little
Yeah.
bit.
And for this especially, I think Reddit is really helpful.
Yeah.
The Reddit mystery shopping subreddit has been around for a long time. Lots of helpful people in there.
Reddit is your friend. You know what? Google's out, Reddit's in.
Well,
Reddit is Google.
So when we Google mystery shopping, or even on ChatGPT, we can get some of the same answers over and over regurgitated on blogs. And ChatGPT is just taking those blogs and also just regurgitating them faster. That's what we love about ChatGPT is that I don't have to go through 10 articles to find that they're all the same. ChatGPT tells me that, for me faster. So really having firsthand accounts from people who aren't financially incentivized. But there are referral links too. Like these mystery shopping companies give all their mystery shopping shoppers referral links, and they get kickbacks if somebody signs up and completes a job, who signed up on their link. So Kayla could easily be doing that and making a lot of money. She has over 300,000 followers, but has chosen this other route because it is more profitable. So yeah. If you have any great mystery shopping resources, we'd love to hear about them in the comments. Let's make this comment section like a really good resource for mystery shopping. Like whatever
fun.
you've got, lay it on us in the comments. And anybody who might be thinking about taking Kayla's course or have heard about her, maybe they don't need to because of all the wealth of information that our parasocial relationships have provided us in the comments.
Speaking of social relationships that are providing so much resource to us.
So much value from my parasocial relationships.
The Bill of the Week.
That's right. It's time for the best minute of your entire week. Maybe a baby was born and his name is William. Maybe you paid off your mortgage. Maybe your car died and you're happy to not have to pay that bill anymore. Duck bills, Buffalo Bills, Bill Clinton. This is the Bill of the Week.
Hi, Jen and Jill. This is Amber. I was calling in with my multiple bills of the week. Since I only have 90 seconds, I will try to keep it short and sweet. My husband of 10 years and I separated in September due to some substance abuse issues, which caused a lot of financial strain. I'm the mother of 3 children, and honestly, we had years of getting a paycheck and it going completely negative before even the next paycheck cycle finished. And so I was determined, though I was in a dark place. I started listening to your podcast in September and just knew that I could start doing small things to turn it around. So my bills of the week are everything was paid for the past 2 weeks, and I have not gone into the negative. I realize that there can be, some fallbacks in this journey, but the fact that happened, this is accomplished, it's doable, has given me so much hope. And I just thank you for being on this journey with me through the ups and downs. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Wow, Amber, this is so
Amber.
heartfelt. I'm like a little bit tearing up because to be a part of somebody's like real life experience like this, to know that something so difficult is happening, and yet information like this can set a different trajectory, and that it's providing hope and a pathway forward. Like, it's not lost on us. And I'm so sorry to hear about the experiences that you've had, substance use disorder, addiction, things that people choose in the midst of some of these mental health struggles can really lead to very non-beneficial consequences and really negatively impact family. And we are just cheering you on for plowing a different pathway forward in the midst of that. And glad to be a help and a support to you
Yeah,
in this way.
we are celebrating each win. Each
Mhm.
win is a huge accomplishment when you're starting over. And we are so excited for you, Amber.
Yeah, well done. 2 weeks of paid bills
And not
and
going into the negative.
just hope for the future. Again, cheering you on. Well
And
done.
cheering on your kids, your
Yeah.
kiddos.
Yeah,
Mm,
you are showing them something really, really positive.
Yeah.
Well done, Amber. If you all are listening, if you have a very vulnerable bill or a bill about being able to pay your bills, or you also just want to try to make us cry, frugalfriendspodcast.com/bill. We can't wait to hear it. And now it's time for
The lightning
round.
round. Phew. What's the sneakiest way an influencer has convinced you to spend?
Oh, this one. I did talk about this one already, but whatever. I get to talk about it again because it's my show. I bought dermaplaning razors last Christmas that I still haven't used, and I couldn't return them because I waited too long till it was outside the return window to realize that I wasn't going to use them. And here's how they got me. I didn't buy the ones that they were talking about. I just saw this reel of an influencer talking about their simple, low maintenance skincare routine. And that got me because I'm like, yeah, I'm not someone who overconsumes and buys a bunch of stuff and has a super complicated way of caring for herself. Like I want simple. I want low maintenance.
I
I want
want
the
to
tips.
be simple and low maintenance.
I want the tips for like what actually can move the needle
What-
without a lot of effort.
What can I buy to
or
make me simple and low
doing-
maintenance?
Yeah, or doing like the Botox and like some of the things that I personally view as a little bit more extreme, costs a little more money. And this was something that I had never tried before. I'm like, oh, maybe that's the key. Maybe that's the thing I'm missing out on is I need to get rid of my peach fuzz.
I didn't know I was missing out on anything, but
until you
maybe
told
this
me
is
I was.
it.
Yep, but they got me with the wording. I
Yeah.
need to spend money to keep my routine simple and low maintenance, and that's on me.
Yeah,
I made that mistake.
it happens to all of us.
Yeah. What about you?
So for me, it's watching food bloggers make all their stuff. And so it's kind of like this haul mentality. They have all these ingredients. They don't expect you to buy all of them, but just one thing potentially from their affiliate link. And I'll do it sometimes, like a specialty ingredient that I think I can use. They don't even, honestly, they don't even need you to buy anything that's in their video. As long as you click their Amazon affiliate link, they will get a kickback on anything you purchase on Amazon for the next 24 hours. As long as you don't click on anybody else's affiliate link, because then it resets for that influencer.
I didn't know that.
It's us too. So if you're ever buying anything on Amazon, and we don't really post Amazon affiliate links, but our book,
because we don't really want you buying on Amazon.
our book is always an Amazon affiliate link. So if you click on buywhatyoulovebook.com, the link to our book on Amazon, that's an affiliate link. So you don't even have to buy the book. But if you don't click on anybody else's affiliate link for the next 24 hours, anything you buy on Amazon, we will get a teeny tiny little itty bitty commission on.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, and that works for every influencer. So
Wow.
they just want you to like click on it to like see if you want to buy it. And then you don't even have to choose to buy it or not.
If you want more tips on how to be smarter with your money, we did a recent episode about the awful money habits that will keep you broke, what to choose instead. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. And then
Coming
also
up
we'll
next.
have those other, we have a couple other scam episodes that we've recently done. We try to do a scam episode, 2 or 3 times a year just to keep you abreast to what's going on in because financial scams get more and more complex and nuanced and honestly just good.
I mean,
Every
they're kind of
year.
smart.
No,
Respect.
they are smart. Like give props where they're due. But we don't want you to fall for them.
You know what I love to stay abreast on is our kind reviews about our book, Buy What You Love Without Going Broke.
BuyWhatYouLoveBook.com.
Like this 5-star review from Brianna Maphis. Finally, an actual meaningful finance book, not about manifesting money or just never spending ever. I feel like I actually got stuff out of this book.
Whoa.
That simple and a low
Yes.
maintenance book review that I love to read.
Yeah. For our simple, low maintenance book.
Yes.
If you want
should
your
buy-
finances to be simple and low maintenance, go to buywhatYouLoveBook.com where you can get links to buy the book, and you definitely can't find instructions on how to request it at your library.
It's the only book you ever need to have. You're never going to be able to get better with your money if you don't buy our book. Have you learned anything? I'm doing all the tactics.
There are actually instructions on how to request it at your library if you don't already have it available at your library.
We actually do want to
That
help
was
you.
20% that was the lie. See ya.
Bye.